Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Angel Ross here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know it's been a little while, man, with COVID and everything going on, getting the shops back open and just running everyday business. Things have gotten kind of hectic, so I'm just glad to be back, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Today we're going to do something just a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a hairline and just showing you guys how to get it nice and even, nice and straight, using a couple products that I love to use. So thank you guys for tuning in. Here we go, man. Run that intro. All right, so as you can see, I've already prepped my model. I've given them a nice little temp fade on the sides. But what we're really gonna focus on this video is just making sure we're getting that hairline nice and straight, nice and even. We're gonna throw a little bit of enhancements in there just to make it pop. And as you can see it with his hairline, he's kind of got where the front kind of dips in just a little further than the corners. So you're naturally gonna have to kind of come back just a little bit, not too much where it's super noticeable, but you're gonna wanna come back just a tiny bit to make that hairline nice and even. And I've faded it down a little bit because the last barber kind of took it just a little bit too far. So I've already blended that in. Now, the first thing I wanna do is I'm gonna hit it with my edgers, but I'm gonna be using a product that I enjoy using, and it's called Chisap. And this is a liquid razor. It's alcohol based, and it's just gonna dry up the hairline, so when you hit it with the clipper, it's gonna give you that nice crisp edge. And you don't want to spray too much. You just want it to be like a light glaze over the hairline. Because sometimes if you spray too much of that stuff, it'll jam up your clippers. So just use a light amount. So I started in the middle, and I'm just working my way over to this corner. And then I'm gonna work my way right, doing the same thing. Just trying to keep it out as natural as possible. You always want to step back and take a look at it. Make sure you're seeing the angle of the hairline, make sure it's staying nice and straight. Now I'm going to spin the chair. So when I'm doing the other side, I want to stand on the other side so I know exactly what the angle looks like from this side, give you a different perspective on what the hairline actually looks like. You never want to be uncomfortable reaching over. You always want to make sure that you're nice and comfortable. Remember that your chair does spin. So spin that chair to your advantage, make sure you're comfortable, make sure you're looking at it properly. And that's all gonna help you get that hairline nice and straight. So now, for this part, I'm gonna be doing the corner, and I'll start on this side. I'm gonna be doing this corner right here. As you can see, it was previously pushed a little further back than it should be. So I'm gonna try to keep it out as far as possible. And with this corner, you always want it to angle a little bit this way. You never want it to angle in. You want it to angle just a little bit out. Now we're gonna hit this bottom line, and I'm just gonna be using the very edge of my blade. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Take a step back, make sure your squares are nice and even. Make sure you know where you're placing it. And remember that when you're using your edges, this is only your rough draft, so you don't want to press down on the edges super hard because you're always going to go through and follow through with the razor. So when you're doing these lines, do not press down super hard. Just give it a light rough draft. We're going to go back over it with the razor to make it nice and crispy. All right, so if you want to double check your work and make sure that your boxes are nice and even, you're going to take a comb, just a regular comb. You're going to put it up on this corner, from the corner down to the bottom of the box. You're gonna pull that tooth out with your thumb. So see, I got it marked, right? Then you're gonna go on the other side. You're gonna put it right on that corner and just make sure that it's nice and even. So you should have the same amount of teeth on both sides. Now I'm gonna wanna lay my client back and just look at the hairline from a different angle, make sure it's nice and straight, everything looks good. And for this part, I'm gonna be putting some shave gel on them and razor lining the hairline. Now we're gonna use a hot towel to soften up the hairs. Makes it a lot easier to shave. And it's also enjoyable for the client. Now I'm just razor shaving.
You like those?
And I'm always making sure I'm stretching out the skin.
Huh? No. Is that where you bought them?
Same thing on the other side, stretching out the skin. And same on the top. I'm going against the grain. I'm gonna go back and brush the hair down and go with the grain. Now I'm gonna take a comb and I'm gonna brush the hair down. And then any overhanging hairs, I'm just gonna go with the grain and just take them out using my razor. So now we're gonna enhance the hairline. The first thing we're gonna do is use the Barber Magic pencil and outline the hairline. This is gonna keep our color from dripping or spilling over the hairline. And it's gonna allow me to see exactly where the color needs to go. So I'm gonna outline this hairline. And by doing this part, you're also gonna be able to see how straight your hairline actually is. Drawing it'll show you if it's even on both sides. It'll just give you a better idea of what the overall hairline looks like. Now using my Kiss brush, I'm using K98 Black Kiss Express with a Kiss brush. And I'm just gonna apply it right behind that line that I drew. And I'm gonna put a nice layer on the hairline. And before it dries, I'm gonna brush it back. And that's just gonna blend it in. Brush it back. Try not to overbrush into the forehead area. So I'm just brushing that back, making sure it blends nice and even.
How is it?
And I'm gonna do the same thing on the sides. Just a little bit of color. Now I'm gonna brush it all forward. Make sure there's nothing overlaying. Sit them up. I see a couple little hairs. I'm just gonna touch it up. And I'm gonna go back with my razor and just start to erase that pencil line.
kids in the neighborhood? Or
No,
are there kids?
there's some kids.
Yeah. That's true. I don't blame you guys.
They give you 72 strokes for the entire course, right? And so like you heard me, I said my lowest score was 95.
Yeah.
But it took me more than 90. It took me 90. It took me more than 72 strokes to finish.
Okay.
So there you have it, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. That was a hairline, a couple of enhancements, a couple tricks, a couple tips just to help you guys out. Make sure those hairlines are nice and straight. If you guys have any questions, concerns, leave them in the comments. All this is free game, man. All I ask for you guys to do is just share these videos, share it with a friend, maybe a fellow barber in your barbershop. Put them on game, man. This is all for all of us just to learn, grow, and just help each other out, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you. Peace.